Welcome guys, just wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to use the new sliders that have been added in Madden 24. The progression and regression sliders are the ones that I'm talking about. You access them via the XP sliders tab over here in the franchise settings. Just press X if you're on PlayStation like me. If you're on another device, then just the appropriate button. Up here, you can see that you've got the offensive progression experience rate. This is the base rate per position for the offensive and the defensive positions, and you've also got the special teams progression rate in here. What you could do here basically is say that, for instance, I want to have strong safeties develop 1.5 times as quickly as regular players. So what you have to do is just sort of adjust this to 150. And that means that their progression is quicker by 50% than all the other players, according to the base of 100. The description on the right basically gives you a clue on what to do here anyways, but this is just the gist of it. I don't really like doing that on positions because it doesn't really make any sense, does it? That an outside linebacker would learn quicker than a quarterback or something like that. What I do like are the new sliders that you can use here to adjust the way that age and basically age progression and regression works. So let's take a look at this here. First of all, you've got the age progression experience rate. This is the same thing as the positions, but in terms of age. And it basically just gives you the option to adjust and add a more realistic development cycle to a player. Because a young player, and this is my logic here, 20, 21, 22-year-old player will improve quicker in general, of course. Why? Well, because they're still learning, right? They're still in college at times at this age. Sometimes they are rookies already, and so on and so forth. So basically, what you can adjust here is how quickly players grow in comparison to the base level of 100%. So I said it this way: 20, 21, 22 years. This is to 50%. I want those players to grow really quickly. 23, 24, 25, those are the shaping years. You know, they have their first seasons in the NFL at times, most of the times. And you've got sort of double the experience here. After that, I have a pretty hard drop in here because at age 26, you basically have to know what you're doing. 27, 28 are all set at 110. You can still improve. And some players just get really better. These are sort of the golden years, if you want to put it that way. And then things get, turn on top of everything. At age 29, we've got 100, which is the base rate. And after that, we have a heavy decline in progression because a 31-year-old player will not be learning new things anymore. So this is just going backwards. And this means if a 35-plus-year-old player trains, for instance, he will only get 30% of what a 29-year-old player will be getting if you were at the same position, and so on and so forth. Same dev trait and all the other attributes that play into that. So this is basically the age progression. The next thing is the age regression. That is going to come after that. First of all, we've got the positional regression rate. The regression rate in terms of positions does make sense, in my opinion, because a halfback, a tight end, a wide receiver, fullback, these positions tend to regress way more than, for instance, a QB. You can have a 34-year-old QB that's still super productive, or 35, 36 sometimes even, because basically if they watch their body, keep training, keep just really hard at it, and are disciplined and focused, then they can still be very effective, which is why the regression rate has been slowed down to 90% here. For halfbacks, it is increased to 150%. So basically, the more percent you choose here, the quicker the regression happens. And this is just the idea here. So the offensive positions that are ball carriers, that have to be quick, that have to move, these are the positions that I gave pretty quick regression rates. Such as the halfbacks, the tight ends, the wide receivers, and the fullbacks. The offensive line positions, tackles, guards, and centers, not as much. Why would they, right? You could have a very productive center Looking at Kelsey, for instance, this is just one of those. He's just really good. It doesn't really matter how old he is. But of course, at some point in time, his body will say, stop it, tread it a little bit more lightly. And this is sort of reflected here. We've got the offensive regression rate done. Now the defensive regression rate, same thing. Again, the positions. I chose to go for a more aggressive regression rate here. Why? Well, quite simply, because these positions, you really have to be on top of your game, right? The defensive ends, the defensive tackles, there are exceptions here, like Aaron Donald, of course, who's a little bit older, but generally the best defensive ends, the best defensive tackles are players between 25 and maybe 30, something like that. So these positions tend to regress more quickly than others, such as the mid linebacker, for instance, where you can sort of play more a holding game. You can just be there, slap balls away, go for a sack once at a time. So this is just the idea here. The outside linebackers again have to do more running, so there's a quicker regression rate. Cornerbacks, same thing. Free safeties, strong safeties, again like the mid linebackers, they have to be quick, they have to be strong in the tackle, but they can also sort of compensate that by just being very clever players and really adjusting well to age, just with their knowledge and experience. Special teams regression rate, I put that to the lowest setting, which is 50, because kickers and punters can basically do that up until they're 40. Doesn't matter at all, so I took that out. And finally, we have the age regression rate, which is a stroke of genius because it really lets you adjust how quickly players will be regressing in certain age brackets. So basically, past the age of 26, we will have a negative regression. It's a slower regression. It's at 70%. It's below 100, so it's just a little bit reduced. We've got 27 years, again, 70%. At age 28, it goes up to 80. And then you can see we've got a steady rise up to 100 by 10%. And then here, starting 31 years up to 35 plus, it's 20% with each step here, basically. And it just means a 35-year-old player will be regressing at double the rate of a 30-year-old player. I really think that these new sliders really add a lot of realism to the franchise. If you're a franchise dude such as me, I set those settings. Just take a look at them. Maybe you want to adjust them the same way. Maybe you want to let me know what you think here. I can't export them and just give you the option to download them and just sort of upgrade them with one button press. But you can sort of pause the video and just follow along with the changes that I made here. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful. What do you think of this new feature? I personally think it's absolutely genius. Loving this. Well done, EA. Great feature. Well, that's it and done, guys. Hope you like this. If you did, drop me a like and subscribe. Means a lot to me. And as always, thank you so much for being here, and see you next time.